Hi, Kiana. I am just a YouTube watcher. I watch your channel,
Okay. How'd you get my
and
number?
I just got it off of your channel.
Oh, where?
It was in one of your videos.
Oh, which one?
I don't even remember.
Sure. Okay, go ahead.
I'm calling because I just kind of want to get your side of what's going on. Like, do you feel like you are drawing a wedge between you and the police department? Do you think what you're doing is helpful?
Well, can I have your name?
Taylor.
Okay. Well, Taylor, excuse me. I've really been getting harassed, and I don't know why. So the viewers they're more like they're trolls and bullies. If
No,
someone,
there are so many people that want to help you.
oh well, good, because what I would think if someone went to the only lifeline that I had to try to expose what I was going through, use that to torture me with trolls, that would be pretty sick.
Well, I'm not a troll. I'm
Oh
just
well,
calling
good.
because I think that you need help, and I think that there's a different avenue to get what you want. I just feel sorry when I watch your videos because I know that you're very smart, you're very intelligent, and I think everybody that comes in contact with you knows that you're smart and intelligent, but you're just using your resources in a bad way. Like all the calls and all of these things to the police department, they're not going to look good when you go to court with your daughter.
Yeah, so I try to, since the domestic violence, since I got drug out of the domestic violence place, and since, they pushed and shoved me and made me leave getting a protection order, I've been trying to find the best fit. It has been a struggle with, my only life source or life link was Metro Care, and they sabotage assistance and cover for crimes as well. So it's hard trying to find an avenue, especially, the DA covering for crimes and covering for the false arrest, tampering with evidence to getting handcuffed at the FBI. It's really difficult to try to figure this out and sort it out on my own. My family being afraid to be around me. It is very trying. So to have to go through this and then have multiple parties try to conspire and convince me I'm mentally ill, and in my family, no support system anywhere. All the parties I come in contact with just about are covering for the criminal activity. It is pretty difficult when you get
Yeah, I'm
calls
sure
like
it
this.
is.
When you get calls like this to harass you, and when they ignore the Texas getting arrested at the Texas Rangers reporting crimes, obvious abuse and corruption. When they multiple parties call and try to convince you that you have a problem to cover for all the chaos. Ma'am, I think the problem is multiple parties covering for child abuse and condoning that. I think that's pretty sick in our society. I think that a problem is for you not having compassion in your heart to report it. I think
Well,
that
no,
you
I
should have been
think
trying to report it
if
to.
you took a step back, if you were to take a step back and say, why am I so important that all these entities will want to do this to me? Does this sound logical? Does it make sense? I think you could see it a different way.
Well, have you? I mean, I don't know why you would disregard the evidence that's shown.
But that's the evidence that you think. Because since I'm an unbiased person and
You're
I'm
unbiased,
able to
okay?
look at your channel and without having any connection to you, without having any connection to the police department, it weighs on the police department heavy that something is wrong with you. It doesn't look, if someone was just to look at your page, they wouldn't think that it was the police department or anybody else.
Oh,
And
okay.
I have no dog in the fight. So I don't care about either party. So I'm looking at it objectively. I'm just looking at like, okay, did this make sense? And it doesn't make sense that the whole world would conspire against you, Miss Park.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of like what my social worker was saying when she said that, get asking people for their badge number and their name, that they would call the police on you. And I tried to convince her that if you're not committing a crime, you don't call the police on someone because you want their name and badge number. But she
Well,
was
no,
convinced that
you're not gonna call the police because of that. That's
she
silly. No, I
said
get that.
she said that that's why, and I shouldn't go into places, and it was more like she was sabotaging. So if a person was weak-minded, if this would be traumatic like it was. Because you get threatened and there's evidence on camera footage, and then you have like 60 something prank callers, and then police are scheming and detaining you over and over, and they're embedding in your head that you have a problem, so they're desperately trying to cover up for their massive crimes. So they will stop at any at any length. They will not stop. So that man, threatening person, speeding up, keeping consistently putting them out so they're on the street, stealing their property, always constant conflict. The calls, multiple parties. You have no clue which video that you got my number. So I just want people.
This is all I'm saying to you. I'm calling just because. Honestly, I'm not calling to berate you. I'm not calling to make fun of you or play on your phone. I just feel sorry for you. I know you are going through a lot of stuff, and I just wish that you had a person in your corner that would tell you, let's look at this a different way. And because I honestly think that could help you. I really honestly believe that if you took that advice that Adrian was saying, you could turn the corner and be able to see your daughter. But you choose to want to live in the past. You choose to want to talk about these false arrests and this and this and this. But is that really important if you just want to see your daughter, isn't that what's important?
Well, I think what's important is to figure out why only abusive parties and conflict is able to get through on my line. I want to know.
I'm not calling as a conflict.
I would like to finish talking.
As a conflict.
Okay, I would like to know why the domestic violence places aren't calling me back, why the multiple organizations aren't calling me back, and how calls like this can get through. So at one point, it was really disturbing. It did get to me, the going into restaurants, get out, because that's what it looks like. That's what's intended. There's a lot of money being spent to cover for these crimes. So it's supposed to look like that.
I'm telling you, I watched your videos. That is not what's happening in the videos. You are not going into restaurants and they telling you to get out based off of you being mean to you.
No. I have walked into restaurants. Well, I have walked into the restaurants, multiple restaurants, and they have yelled, "Get out," and denied me purchase.
Probably because there could have been a couple reasons.
No, ma'am. I have lived, I'm not going to disclose my age, but I've lived a long time. And ever since I got the wealthy abuser and all this chaos went on, that's when it started. I didn't have to deal with people lying on me on camera footage, and no one wants to review the camera footage. But anyway, I'm busy. I just want to show what I've been through, the multiple prank callers and the multiple parties trying to convince me for dear life that I have a problem so they can cover up for their crimes, the trolls in the YouTube feed, my only life source, to try to expose my experience. And I'm not even safe there. I can't read the comments for all the chaos.
It's just really sad that
Sure, ma'am. Bye.